Hello everyone, my name is Prema. I'm from Les Étoiles de Vie, or in English, the Stars of Life. And I have returned from my beautiful solo journey to Hungary. And I went there with my car, my tent, and drove 3,000 kilometers back and forth, and I passed through 4 countries. So I'm here in Belgium. I passed through Germany. Then I had to have an e-ticket. What is it? A vignette, a digital vignette for Austria. Have a nice journey. It's on the paper. And also for Hungary, I had to have an e-vignette. And they said, we wish you a safe and accident-free journey. Well, talk about that later. So I drove 3,000 kilometers, went all by myself, me, myself, and I. This was the very first time that I went on a journey, a holiday, all by myself. I'm the youngest of 3 daughters, and every time when I went on a holiday, my parents were there, my sisters were there. And when I grew up and I was a teenager, I always went on holidays with my mother. We went to London, we went to Paris, we went to Rome. We saw everything together. And also I met my husband in India. So we went there also to India to get married over there. And all my parents came and parents-in-law. So there was always somebody there. So going on this journey all by myself with my car for 3,000 kilometers was quite an adventure, and it was a very lovely retreat after being home or stuck in the country for the last 3 years. I love to drive my car. I've always loved it. I have family members in Denmark, and as a very young child and even as a baby, my father flew with an airplane, a sports plane, or we took the car and drove 1,100 kilometers to my grandparents, uncle, and auntie. So I'm used to driving a lot of kilometers. Now, I went on this holiday, which was also a business retreat for myself, as I am a wellness advocate at doTERRA. I love that company for so many obvious reasons. And one of my upline people, so I subscribe through Sri Lakshmi, and her front line, the first person that she subscribed, her name is Lucia. And in one of the first or last Zoom calls before I went to Budapest, she asked me in the Zoom, what oils will you take with you? And I hadn't packed my bag yet. So I was thinking, yeah, I need to bring some oils because I love to work with them daily. So Lucia, this video is for you and all the other people. So I can share what I took with me in about 9 days of my journey. And I will also tell you why I took some products and how I used them during my journey. And also, what did I take back home from the convention? That might be interesting as well, because we received a lot of presents from doTERRA. I'll tell you a bit what I did over there and also who I met at the convention and during those days, and then small pieces of my experiences, what I went through going up there, how I felt, what I saw, my thoughts when I was there. Just a small bit, but if you want to hear more about it, you're very welcome. Next Monday, I will do, what date will that be? Let's see. Next Monday, that is the 27th, I will do a team call with all my team members, but also at 11 o'clock Central European time, so that's 10 a.m. for those in the UK. I will talk about my experiences of that beautiful convention. So let's start. Lucia, what did I take with me? I took a lot. So first of all, of course, every day I'll have my toothpaste with me. So I took that to the campsites where I went. Everyone went to a hotel. No, I love to be in nature. Don't take me into a compartment of a hotel. Please take me to a campsite. So I took my pop-up tent and I went on a campsite with my doTERRA On Guard toothpaste. I also took the mouthwash, the small one, which we could order last month. It's still in the while supplies last, in a kit with all kinds of On Guard products in it. Didn't use it because didn't use all the things I took with me. But it's a very lovely refresher if you love that. Then I took a citrus bloom deodorant. Of course, you know why we use deodorant. It's all natural and pure, so it won't be itchy under your arms. I took a citrus bliss bath bar for in the shower. And then, because my boy Jay, he was on a holiday with the school as well, and my husband and my daughter stayed at home, they had to have shampoo and conditioner and soap, so they kept the big ones, and I took some samples of the conditioner and the protecting shampoo with me that you can get as a wellness advocate to give to clients who come to your house or just have some samples. So I used this. Then I also took not the big bottle of the Deep Blue, but I took some samples of Deep Blue because I knew, well, I will travel 3,000 kilometers and I'm going to the Alps as well. Talking about that in a minute. I will have some muscle pain sitting in the car or laying on a mattress in my tent. So I thought to have this. I didn't use it, didn't need it. I had some other products that I used for that. Then I also took my On Guard mist. Why? I thought, well, if I will be asked during my stay somewhere to have a hand gel somewhere, I would just say I'm allergic to it. I have a natural product, and I would just show them the On Guard mist and spray it on my hands to keep my hands clean and smelling lovely during those days. So I had that in my backpack. And I took that with me everywhere I went as a tourist. Didn't have to use it in shops. They didn't ask for hand gels, disinfection, blah, blah. They didn't ask for it. But I took it with me just in case they would ask me. Then last year, or this year, was it this year, we had a citrus bloom for Mother's Day. I took this lovely bag. It's very beautiful with flowers on it. And you can open it, and here are 6 touch blends or touch oils, and then a lot of the oil bottles. I'll tell you, Lucia and everyone, what's inside. First of all, I didn't have enough space, so I apparently need more space during Christmas time. I have bought this one from doTERRA, a small bag, and here is also some place to put some oils in. Very easy. You can also put your nail clipper or whatever in it. I had a Peppermint Touch. Why did I take my Peppermint Touch? First of all, it was stupid of me to take it because it was empty. didn't check it. How foolish of me. But I could rub some of this. I took this for energy. In the car when I was driving and when it's so hot in there, at some point I saw 37, no, even 38 degrees in the car when I was driving. Luckily I had air conditioning, but I used this to cool down, and I used this also to underneath my nose, so I would have the energy to drive my car. I must say I felt very energetic on my way to the convention and very energetic going home again. So it was good. I didn't have to use this one as much because, yeah, there's just a few drops left. I also took the peppermint bottle, but I didn't use that one as much. I took some On Guard beadlets. What are those beadlets? Those are very, very tiny, small, kind of soft gels. And you can just swallow it, and with the On Guard, you have a lot of protection for all the bacteria that are around there. And at the convention, there would be 5,000 people. There were 7,400 or something. There were more than 5,000 in person. And I would take this one in case I would feel, that many people would be coughing. I also took I use here the small vials. I took 9 of these 3, the lifelong vitality pack. So every day I would have my 3 supplements in here, and here are 3 leftovers of the On Guard soft gel. So that's the same as the beadlets, but then a bigger. I took those with me just in case if I would become ill, or if anybody else would need it, I would have these as hand for protection and to support my immune system. And also using the lifelong vitality pack, and I didn't bring those big bottles, but just put it in a small bag. I felt like it's good to have it because I don't know what will I be eating, and I have done some support for my nutrition. I use the lifelong vitality pack every day. Now, I won't go through all these oils, but just so you know, the most oils I used were frankincense. What I do with frankincense daily is I open it up, I open my mouth, and I drip 1 drop underneath my tongue. Voila, there were 2, and then I put 1 as the Indian ladies, a putu here. It's called a putu, that red button that the Hindu people put here. And I put my frankincense up there. I will talk a bit about a funny thing. I also used air a lot as a deodorant because I didn't bring all the time all the things in my bag to the convention or when I was driving. So I always took some oils that I wanted to use that day, but I used air as a deodorant during the convention days. And it worked very well. So in case you want to try it, it was very cooling. There's also some peppermint inside of air. It's called Breathe in the US. So I used this one as a deodorant. I took past tense with me for the same reason why I took deep blue and peppermint, for some relief when I would have some muscle pains. And I must say, there were 3 big days of the convention. First, there was the Empowerment Day that was only for wellness advocates. And during the empowerment day, we sat on chairs, which you see in a football soccer play field. So you would sit on those plastic chairs and look to the side and have the big screen over there. So my neck had some strains, my back had some strains. The next day to the convention hall, luckily the chairs were very good. So I took some past sense in my neck, on my backbone, and on the muscles that felt a bit like during the first day. Of course, I also used it in the car just to make sure that I let go and release of everything that I needed to let go of. Then I used a lot of jasmine. I love it on my face. I love it on my arms. I love it underneath my nose, my chest, everywhere. I love jasmine in combination with rose. I love whisper, frankincense. The first evening when I went on a campsite in Bayern in Germany, Deutschland, I used sandalwood on my forehead to calm me down, to sit and relax. There was nobody there. If you've seen my posts on YouTube, you could see there was nobody there, or maybe on my Facebook profile. I was the only one on a big camping. It was lovely. I could hear the birds. I could just sit and relax, do my own thing. It was just lovely. What else do I have? Wild orange, I didn't use. Tangerine, I didn't use. Why? Because it was so sunny, I didn't want to have it on my face, and I was wearing shorts, or just like now, a short tank top. Citronella, what was the product of the month here in Europe, I took because I went to a campsite. And what are a lot at the campsites? Mosquitoes and bugs and everything. Didn't have to use it because I didn't have too many mosquitoes up there. That would have been more, I guess, if there would have been more people at the campsite. But yeah, I didn't have to use it. Forest breeze is one of the favorites of my husband. I took this one for an emotional reason, to sniff it and to think about my husband. That was the reason why I took forest breeze, just to sniff my husband, as he loves forest breeze a lot. And we have another forest breeze at home. So, husband, Krishna, if you see this, I took this to think about you. Oh, I'm getting mellow here. Cedarwood, yes, cedarwood. Cedarwood, I love that. This is, I guess, next to frankincense, my favorite oil of all. This is one of the first oils I bought, and I'll tell you why. This one brings you very close in connection with your father. When I subscribed at doTERRA, my father was the first person I talked about doTERRA, and he would be the first person joining my team. And the minute he said yes, 3 days later, he passed over and went to heaven. And I saw him in my dreams, and he was knocking on wood. And because there were some beautiful carvings on the wooden box that I saw in the dream where I saw my father going to heaven, I thought this must be from Russia, the wood. And cedar wood, the cedar, grows also in Russia. So that's why cedarwood is very, very, I'm getting emotional, but very connected to me. And now I understand also why it brings the connection with the father. So I use this with my fractionated coconut oil, and I rub it everywhere. Everywhere on my body, and I also use it instead of my deodorant. I use it as a deodorant. I love the smell. I feel so comfortable when I use this oil. and it just brings me to my papa. Well, that's why I brought cedarwood. Then I have some other oils. Tulsi, didn't use it. Balance, didn't use it. Green mandarin. Yeah, I think I had green mandarin once in a glass of water at the campsite. Oregano. Ooh, oregano is such a hot oil. I use this one on my calves. Let's show you here. On my calves, I use oregano for strength, and I feel when I use it at the bottom of my body, the lower part, that I am, how can I express this, more energized for the day, that I'm very strict with what I want to do, that I feel strong. It's like the feminine part of deep blue or peppermint, but it brings in also like some kind of boundaries like you would have with tea tree. Yeah, I love oregano in my meals. They can be very harsh. I didn't use that at the campsite. I went out eating. Didn't cook, didn't take my pans and pots. I used lavender. Lavender for the kind of mosquito bites I did get. I just put some drops on it. Next day, no itchy feelings. What else did I bring? Tea tree, yes. The first day, because there are so many people, so many new people you'll meet during convention, during your stay as a tourist, I always use tea tree. I always use it to set my boundaries and like, no, this is my space. I need this space. Stay away. I also use this for my nails. I also use this for my hair. I use this for boundaries. And I just love the smell. It's very grounding. The tree oils are very grounding. I took some peppermint beetlets. Didn't use these. Peppermint oil, yes, I did use that one for the heat. And I took some deep blue. So I think I almost covered this whole box. And this is only what I took with me to the campsite and the convention and on my journey in those 9 days. Now, what did we do during the empowerment day? That I will explain on Monday. So if you want to join, I can talk with you about that on the 27th at 11 a.m. That's after the team call. So all my wellness advocates, you're all welcome at 10 a.m. Central European Time. All the others are welcome at 11. There were 3 days, 2 days of the convention, but it started off with an empowerment day. We all received a bracelet. There were many people during the empowerment day. That was the day before the convention started. And we had to have kinds of papers just to know in case you want to go to the next convention next year. It's always annual in every continent. So I had this convention, always there was a code. They scanned the code. You have then your empowerment day. I had one for the Gala because my upline, Amelia Adrian, she was celebrating that she became a diamond last year. And then there were the Beyond Convention days. So we had those papers, and before we could sign in, we had to show like a barcode, and then they just let us in. For the convention days, we had to have a badge. We always wore a badge, a Beyond badge, and on it you had a code, a QR code, and then you could check all the hours, all the extra insights, and you could check it with your phone. I had my husband talking to me through the chat like, now you will have this, or now you can do that. So that was very lovely to have my lovely, sweet Krishna with me as well, although he was at home and I was traveling. During the Empowerment Day, we stood in line. There were also a lot of people. As far as I knew, I was the only Belgian up there, but there was a presidential diamond from Belgium. I don't know who she is. I don't know her team members, but I'm eager to get to know them because I'm in an international team. Just before I went to the convention, a lady from Australia signed up, and I also have a lady from the US in my team. So I'm also working internationally, as you can hear. And at the Empowerment Day, the very first person I saw was Henriette Kalgraaf. She became a Norwegian lady, beautiful lady, both inside and out. But her heart is so wide open. She stood there in line, and when I was driving with my car, finding a parking spot, she was the very, very first person that I saw standing in the big line. I'm going to take part in a course of hers starting 10th of July. If you want to know more about that and you're a wellness advocate, please join me or send me a text message or a PM on Facebook or Instagram or mail me at www.lesitveldervie.com. I'll post it beneath the video so you can find it. And I'll join her. And during the Empowerment Day, when I was also standing in line, going inside, the first person I spoke to was my upline from the UK, Amelia. She was standing in line for the toilet, and I needed to go to the toilet. And there she was. She gave me a hug, said, "Hey, Amelia." We just met a few times in her Zoom calls. So it was very lovely because immediately I felt like, oh, now I know at least one person here. She took me to the 3-4 of her team members, and I joined in with beautiful Zoe and her husband, and there was Mira, and then there was Karen, and they were all so lovely. They took me on the boat trip the second day, so it was really lovely to spend time with them. I'm getting goosebumps telling it. It was so fun. It was so good to meet the people who joined before you and rank advanced and stayed and connected. And I must say, all the people you meet during convention, they are all like enthusiastic puppies who are like very into the business or into the oils or into the community or into all the projects of the Healing Hands Foundation or into just the whole vibe, the international vibe. I can imagine, like, if you go to Australia, it's all in English. If you go to the US, it will be all in English. But here we are with people from Hungary. Oh, the people from Hungary. They were so sweet, so incredibly sweet, standing there with all a beautiful, respectful posture, and they were speaking with such strength. Their faces were very, I wouldn't say strict, but serious, some kind of a serious kind of face. And they were so connected with each other. So I loved it. And they said, like, in the first convention or a first getting together in Hungary, there were, what was it? I think 400 people or maybe 200, but let's say 400 people. And now there were 7,400. So 7,000 more than the first time. That's amazing. During the Empowerment Day, the founder, Emily Wright, was speaking a lot of beautiful stories about her own past, about why she got into the business through her husband, who was like kicking her butt doing the business with David Sterling and Dr. Hill and all the other founders. And it was so beautiful to hear her speak and to feel her heart, because if they want to triple their impact in 2030, and that impact will mean that so many farmers across the world will have the opportunity to get their children to school, or to have a fair wage, a fair loan, and they receive knowledge and education in what they do, and we're helping with anti-human trafficking business. This means our impact will be grand. And the way they spoke out to I'm getting into it already, but I will talk about it on Monday. So please join in if you wish. But now let's get to the goodies. What did we receive? So at the Empowerment Day, we received this here. During the gala, in the evening, I was the only one of my upline, Amelia, celebrating her becoming a diamond. It was so lovely. They had a big stage. It was the stage of the convention hall. And all the diamonds, blue diamonds and presidential diamonds, were celebrated. And there was, instead of a red carpet, there was a purple carpet. You know, you always have to follow the purple buttons at doTERRA. So it was a purple carpet, and everyone who went on stage and got down the stairs could walk down the purple carpet and all the way to Emily Wright. And I stood there, and she stood 1 meter to the side of me, and I watched at her how she was looking at all those leaders with so much love and gratitude and encouragement. And she opened her arms and she hugged each and every one of them. And I had my mobile phone, but my battery went low. So I said to Amelia when she went down, and she came down the carpet, and we had some confetti, and poof, I opened it up and I splashed it all over Amelia. And she hugged Emily, and I said, wait, give me your phone and I can take some pictures with your phone. So she gave me her phone, and I just clicked it and took all pictures of her and Emily Wright. And there was a photographer taking pictures of all the people who were celebrated. We received a ring light for our phone. We received a booklet of the gala, and in this booklet you can see all the names of all the people who went to Presidential Diamond, Diamond or Blue Diamond in 2019 to 2020, and then the year later, 2021 to, all the years, the last 3 years, because there wasn't a European convention in 3 years. I took some extras for my team members. Then we also received at the gala, it was only for the people at the gala, the Evolve Touch. Very lovely, sweet blend. Thank you, doTERRA. And that was the gala. And of course, there was a dinner. You could go in line and eat whatever you wanted. Then there was the big convention day. There were 7,400 people standing in line to get their bag for the convention. So what did we receive at the first day before you enter? So I had this badge. You had to have it, even though the people at the gate, they knew you every time you entered and went. You had to show it. Everyone in Budapest that was from doTERRA was walking with this bag. And in this bag, we received a pen. And it's also Beyond doTERRA Europe Convention 2022. We received something to write, so we could use it. I will be using it for my course at Henrietta. And we received a free Ravensara, a limited oil. So we received this before the convention even started. So everyone had a big backpack. And then during the convention, what did we get? We received, if we purchased the convention kit, the Beyond Convention kit, you received a box. And those in person also received this. A hair care travel kit. I'll show you what it was. In this box, there is the deep blue stick. So not the deep blue with copaiba it is. For your muscles, very good. If you're walking up the hill in the Alps, just like I did. Then there was vanilla. This one is so sweet. When I came home, I said to my husband, I said to my son, and I said to my daughter, open your hand and let's have a try. I dropped one drop in their palm. It's so lovely. And the story about how they make the vanilla, how much labor is put into this single 5 milliliter oil, it's incredible. You won't believe how many adulteration there is in so many other companies who sell oils. We've seen so many details of the scientists, of the education team, so many adulteration and so many synthetics. And there are even oils that are fake because there are oils that don't even come from plants that even produce oil. So it was very, very interesting. For that, I'll talk to you on Monday. So vanilla, if you want to purchase this as a single oil in your order, you have to wait for August, then you will be able to purchase it. There was Osmanthus, a new one, Osmanthus Touch, and Copaiba. The UK lady Zoe, she had the bottle with her of Copaiba. She put it in my hand and I could taste it. It's very, very beautiful taste. I never tried it before. And what else was there in the kit? These hand wipes. It's also like a kind of sample. There are 20 in one box and you can clean. Very nice, very lovely. So that's what was in the convention kit. And I think I've gone through it almost everything. Then, what else did I take with me? I took in my car the annual impact report of doTERRA. I read it in my tent. I read it also before. There is a lot of knowledge in here. If you haven't seen this report yet, it's 80 pages and it shows you everything about the values, about the science, about their projects, Healing Hand Foundation, co-impact sourcing. There are stories about farmers that you can read. There's so much in here. And doTERRA has never before given an annual report because they want to be very transparent to all their audience, but also to their competition in the oil industry. They have chosen to make this annual report and it's so beautiful to read. Here these are the founders, for example, the 7 founders of doTERRA. It's so beautifully written and you really get a huge insight of what it's all about. It's incredible. And when we were there, they asked okay, now we have the refugees in Ukraine due to the war. And at the school of my children, there are also now 2 children from Ukraine in the school. So a lot of people are leaving the country due to the war. And there was a man who spoke about it, and he was willing to collect money for 3 generators to produce clean drinking water for the refugees. And their aim was, during the convention, in 24 hours, they wanted to have 30,000 euros. And we could purchase, and it's still available in the shop, we could purchase 3 oils separately or all together: lemon myrtle, laurel leaf, and white grapefruit. And everyone who purchased these, it was not for point volume, it was 0 point volume. They were 15, 20, and 25 euros, or they are. If you want to purchase these, you have till they're gone. And if you purchase these, you're helping the refugees of Ukraine, because now a lot of them fled the country and they are seeking for help. And we aimed, or doTERRA aimed, for 30,000 euros because a lot of us purchased it at the convention. We had 108,000 euros collected during those 24 hours. I invite you all to purchase these 3 oils to support that big project, because war must stop. Let's just say that. Then, what else do I have? I think I'll leave it with that because I think it's a very long video already. I didn't even show my lip balm or air drops that I also used to have a good breath during the days. Yeah, that's it. I'm getting emotional when I say that, because 108,000, that means in Hindu culture, 108 is a holy number. And I was so touched by it that we all, that we tripled the amount that they were looking for. And you could see it at the Gala. People from Eastern Europe, where there is, on an average, more poverty, like in Romania or even Hungary and Moldova. So many people get the chance for this business, and I'm almost ranking to next rank. And my people are so happy and enthusiastic also to receive this opportunity. So if you're wondering how to speak with people, how to connect with people, please reach out to me. You're welcome in my Zoom calls, and also in that of Sri Lakshmi, or in Amelia, or in Elena Brouwer, the first presidential diamond in our upline. You are welcome. We are a whole collective of friends, of colleagues, of international peeps from all different continents, and we are making an impact. So that's why I do it. I love the oils. I love their purity. I love how every specific oil brings in a different emotional touch, or clears my mental way of thinking, or grounds me, or uplifts me, or soothes me, or helps me with my dry skin in the summer. I'm so grateful. I'm so happy I went over there. If you want to see pictures, just add me as a friend on your Facebook, and you can scroll down all the pictures that I took during the convention. I can also send you a link to YouTube. I can also talk to you about it, and I wish you all a very, very lovely journey with you, yourself, on your doTERRA journey. Take good care of yourself, love yourself, believe in yourself, and you are making an impact. Bye.